Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes and today I'm talking to you through my brand new camera. Although it's not my brand new camera because it belongs to the channel and it was paid for by the channel thanks to you guys that regularly watch my videos and enable me to earn a little bit of revenue from adverts. And especially thanks to you guys that have been kind enough to purchase some Marcus Hayes merchandise. Now, as I've mentioned before, I don't take any money myself from what I earn on YouTube, and all my rents for my garages and all my car parts and that are still paid for by myself. But the general costs of running the website and stuff like that is now paid for by the revenue that I earn on YouTube. So I want to send a massive thanks out to each and every one of you for your continued support of my channel. Now, I get so many messages from people asking what I use to make my videos. So before I show you the new camera, I'm going to show you the old one and also show you the software that I use. Right, so up until now I've been using this very old GoPro Hero 4. Now I got this 2.5 years ago when I started making YouTube videos, and I got it as a used unit, and it was actually an official GoPro refurbishment, and yeah, I haven't had any problems with it. It does sort of freeze every now and again, you have to take the battery out, but I think they all do that, to be honest. And yeah, it's a lot more basic compared to the new camera that I've got, but yeah, it's definitely served me well over the last 2.5 years. Yeah, that Hero 4 cost about £130, I think it was, 2.5 years ago. I'm sure they're a lot cheaper now if you can still buy them. And I've always kept it in one of these protective cases. I've had to replace this a couple of times over the years when the lens bit gets scratched up, but I've always bought non-genuine cases, so they're a lot cheaper than the official GoPro ones. I've also had a couple of different stands over the years. Yeah, I really like this one though, to be honest, and I've had to replace these adapters for the stands a couple of times, and as you can see, this has currently got a load of araldite on it, and that araldite bodge has actually failed, but I've got a few more of those coming through the post at the moment. Now, a couple of areas where this lets me down a bit is with the audio and in low light conditions. Now, about a year ago, I did try using an external microphone. It just plugs in the side like that. Now, this considerably improved the audio, and it helped with things like wind noise. I had another one of these that's even more fluffy that really did cut out the wind noise. Having this microphone actually made the editing process a lot quicker in terms of making all the audio throughout my video the same level. Without this, it does take a lot of editing to make the volume consistent. But what I found with this external mic is because it sticks out, it inevitably gets knocked, and then eventually it ends up failing. Basically, you get a loose connection in the connector there and it stops working. Now, that's the second external mic that I tried with the Hero 4, and luckily, whenever they failed, it was always at the end of a video shoot. And the problem is, you don't know that it's failed until you come to edit the video. And I was worried that one day I was going to go to edit a video and the whole video would be ruined. So I actually decided to stop using the external microphone. So yeah, without the external microphone, wind noise has been a real issue. I'm sure some of you have noticed in my videos when I'm filming outside in the wind. But yeah, I didn't want to risk ruining a whole video. So I've just had to sort of put up with it and try editing the wind noise out in the software that I use, but then it's not ideal. It makes the audio rubbish. Now, as I said, the other problem with that Hero 4 is when you're trying to film in low light conditions. When I've tried to do videos at car meets, I've actually ended up using an iPhone because, yeah, that Hero 4 is really rubbish unless it's bright daylight. Again, you can sort of try and adjust things in post in the editing software, but then, you know, the picture just goes really grainy and yeah, it's really rubbish. But having said all that, this camera has served me well over the last 2.5 years, and I still will use this in situations like where I'm driving the car and I want more than one view. You know, I can have one camera facing me and one camera facing forward. So yeah, I'm not going to be throwing this away just yet. So now I'm going to show you the software that I actually use to edit my videos. Right, so ever since I've been making YouTube videos, I've been using iMovie, which is a free bit of software that you can get. I think it's only available for Macs, but I'm sure there's some equally good bits of software out there that you can download for free to use on a PC if you don't have a Mac. And yeah, it does everything that I need it to do. You know, you can put the clips in whatever order you want, you can chop them, you can slow them down, speed them up, you can put whatever audio you want over the clips, you can even drag audio out of the clips and cut it up to get rid of all your ums and ahs and all that. So yeah, I've got no plans to upgrade my software at all because this literally does everything I need it to. Now, before I started making YouTube videos, I had no real experience when it comes to editing videos, and I just basically learnt by practicing, and whenever I got stuck, I just went on Google or went on YouTube to find out how to do what I need to do. And yeah, although I haven't tried any other bits of software, as far as I'm concerned, iMovie is pretty good. Now, this is the video that you would have seen last on my channel, and this is just a bit where I've got clips of Esther with some music behind it. And all the music that is in my videos is created by myself. I'm certainly no musician, but I use a piece of software called Logic Pro 10, which is quite a professional music production software. But again, you know, I've learned how to use it myself just by practicing and Googling. So yeah, that is pretty much all my equipment, apart from some, you know, various mounts and attachments for the GoPro. So yeah, nothing sophisticated whatsoever. So now I'm going to switch back to the Hero 4 so that I can show you the new camera. Alright, so here is the new camera. It's another GoPro, the latest GoPro, the Hero9 Black. Now, I will say the reason that I've gone for another GoPro rather than using a proper video camera is because it just seems like whatever camera people have on YouTube, they always have an issue with the autofocus, and every now and again, you know, there'll be a couple of seconds in the video where the person's face is blurry, and you don't get any of that with a GoPro. Now, this is way more advanced than the Hero 4. It's got a lot more features, most of which I know nothing about. You know, I'm not a videographer by any stretch of the imagination. And I've actually been looking at some videos on YouTube just to give me an idea of some base settings to use. Yeah, I'm sure that the videos are going to come out a lot better with this. I'm probably still going to be shooting in 1080p at 60 frames per second, which is exactly what I have been on the Hero 4. And that's mainly just so that the file sizes aren't going to be massive and take days and days to upload to YouTube, although I might actually use 4K on all the cinematic stuff to make those look better. Now, this Hero9 Black has a wind noise filter, I suppose you would call it. You can basically turn it on, off, or on auto, so hopefully that will help with one of the main issues that I have with the Hero 4. But I have bought a couple of mods for it, which are going to further help with regards to audio and hopefully help with the low light conditions. So what I've got here is the media mod, which is essentially an external microphone, but this one doesn't protrude from the camera. The connector is in there, so it's protected from, you know, the issues that I used to have with this one. And also on here there's a HDMI port, a charging port, and this one here is for an external microphone. So if you wanted to plug in one of those lapel mics that I see some YouTubers using, you can plug those into the media mod as well. And I've got this sort of fluffy thing that goes onto the media mod, which should help even more with wind noise. So I'll just put all this together along with another mod, and I'll get back to you in a sec. So yeah, that slides in like that. That fluffy bit goes on there. And then we've got the light mod. It just slips on there. You can also have it on the side. And this thing goes on here to soften the light. I can't remember what that's called. But yeah, this thing is really bright. Now, this Hero9 came with this handle thing. I might get another stand just so that I've got a stand for both of the cameras, but yeah, I'll just attach it onto here for now. And the cool thing about the Hero9 is that the little fingers that interlock into your stand or your handle are actually folded up into the camera, so you just have to fold them out. And there it is in all its glory. Certainly looks a bit more professional than the Hero 4. I'll just switch it on because there is one feature, which is the main reason I went for this one rather than buying the Hero 8, to be honest. And that is that you now have a front screen on it. So you can literally frame your shot when you're pointing the camera at yourself. But yeah, hopefully this is going to improve my videos no end. Right, so as I'm sure you can tell by the picture quality, I'm now back on the Hero 9, and I'm going to run round to my garage quickly to just show you how good this light mod is. Right, so what you're looking at now, although you can't tell because it's pitch black, is Maud, my Mordor Mark II Escort. Now I've still got the cover on the light mod, but if I just switch it onto its first setting, still can't really see much. Second setting, starting to see the car a little bit. Third setting, and you can see it a bit better. Now if I take the cover off, just look at that. I'll give you a comparison. So if we go, so now with the cover off, we've got the first setting, second setting, third setting. And I really think that's going to be a game changer in terms of shooting cars at car meets when it's dark and stuff. I think the only problem I'm going to have is making sure that there's no one looking towards the camera when I'm using it. It's not too bad. I've got the cover on at the moment and I'm looking at the screen rather than looking directly at the light, but yeah, it is really bright. Right, so back at home, and I've got a couple of model cars to show you that were kindly sent to me by some subscribers. But first, I want to say something. I get so many messages from people saying that they're planning on starting a YouTube channel, but they're worried about what equipment they've got, and they're going to wait until they've got a decent camera and wait until they're good at making videos, or wait until they've got the right software. In my opinion, the only way you're going to get good at making YouTube videos is by making YouTube videos. So don't allow your mind to tell you that you need to wait until you're ready, because with that mentality, you'll never be ready. I don't consider myself very good at making YouTube videos, even now, after 2.5 years, but I'm a million times better than I was when I started. So if you're planning to start a channel, don't think about it, just do it and learn as you go. Even if you start making your videos on your iPhone, you're going to learn more doing that than you would if you were to wait until you had the right knowledge or the right equipment. With that being said, let's have a look at the new additions to my model car collection. First up, I've got this super cool black Hot Wheels Mark I Escort that was sent to me by Scott Smith and his son Harry. Massive shout to you guys. And they even included this lovely handwritten note. Now I do actually already have one of these black Hot Wheels out of the packet in my cabinet, which means this one will be staying in mint condition in the packet, and it will join my vast collection of unopened Hot Wheels cars. And the model, along with the handwritten note, will be treasured by me forever. So I want to send a massive thanks out to Scott and Harry for sending me this model and for your continued support of my channel. Next up, I've got this Mark III Escort model, which is made by Corgi, and that was sent to me by a guy called Robert Argyle. Now again, I do actually already have one of these in my cabinet, just there, and that was actually sent to me by another subscriber. But when Robert was emailing me about this Mark III, he was actually saying that I could either keep it as part of my collection or give it to my dad, seeing as he owns a Mark III Escort. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to proudly display this in my parents' front room, and I'm sure my dad will really appreciate that you sent it to us. So yeah, massive thanks to you, Robert, for sending me that Mark III model. I really, really appreciate it, and thanks for your support. Tomorrow, I'm going to be heading over to my other garage where I store Esther, my ST170 powered Mark I Escort. I've got some new parts to fit to her that are going to shed a little bit more weight. So you'll be able to see that in the next video. But if you thought this video was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe if you're new and you want to keep up to date with all my future uploads, and check the links in the description to my social media and my website. I'll also leave my email address down there for anyone who wants to contact me. But other than that, until next time, thanks for watching.